Google Earth is getting a few more hits lately. This image has many suspecting that a giant sea creature is lurking in New Zealand waters. An engineer reportedly spotted the being in the Oki Bay while researching the area before heading there for vacation.
The Loch Ness Monster. A fascinating new find on Google Earth has revived the legendary mystery of whether Loch Ness truly hides a monster in its depths. I'm from Scotland, and personally, I believe it's real. Let's go, Team Loch Ness. Security guard Jason Cook, scrolling through satellite images during a quiet moment, stumbled upon an image that has reignited the field of Nesiology, which, yes, is a real thing. After years of quiet since the last flurry of sightings in 2005, some enthusiasts even feared Nessie might have fallen victim to climate change until now. Yeah, climate change is killing Nessie, guys. What are we doing? The image reveals what looks like a giant tadpole swimming in the loch, complete with an oval body, a long tail, and flippers. Ergo, long neck Nessie. Nessie believers argue that it confirms their theory all along. The monster is a plesiosaur, which is a marine reptile from the Jurassic period. Now, skeptics, however, have countered with other possibilities. Maybe it's a boat, maybe it's a whale, or maybe it's just some elusive submarine, who knows? Probably not a dinosaur, that's what they're saying. One particularly cheeky suggestion posted that it might even be former Prime Minister Gordon Brown enjoying a secret swim. How fun is that? Taking a laugh at it. This is a game changer, says Cameron McSporran at Inverness University. It's the most compelling evidence since the famous 1974 sighting by campers who describe a scaly, serpentine creature. Now, of course, rigorous analysis and collaboration with the Highlands and the Island Tourist Board are needed, but we're closer than ever to silencing the skeptics. McSporran, speaking from a diving bell 300 feet below Loch Ness, added an air of gravitas to the mystery. Is this image the proof we've been waiting for all along, or just another mirage in the murky waters of Loch Ness? Comment down below what you think. I want to believe it's real, but also pigeon people. Japan's blend of tradition and eccentricity gave rise to one of Google Earth's strangest sights yet. The pigeon people. Yep, you heard me correctly. A group of individuals wearing pigeon head masks lined up on a sidewalk and perfectly timed to greet the Google Earth streetcar. Yeah, their heads eerily followed the camera's movements for every snapshot that it took, creating this unsettling, surreal vibe. Though the scene looks straight out of a horror movie, it's nothing more than a quirky prank. There are no pigeon people, although it would be kind of fun to believe for a bit. It was believed to be art students from a nearby school, and these pigeon people pulled off a perfect stunt that earned them a place in internet folklore, but also a place on this list. So creepy. I wish pigeon people were real. Maybe one time. Maybe in the near future we'll be one. I want wings. I want to fly. Pigeons don't even fly. They just like follow you on the street and beg you for money. Maybe I don't want to be a pigeon. The megalodon. Our classic, here we go. In 2015, a Google Earth user discovered an image off the coast of New Caledonia that appeared to show an enormous shark-like creature, sparking rumors that the long-extinct megalodon might still be alive. The sighting quickly went viral, with some speculating that the prehistoric predator, which grew up to 60 feet long, had somehow evaded detection. Somehow. However, experts quickly debunked the idea. The image was likely an optical illusion created by water patterns, shadows, or a much smaller marine creature. The megalodon, which went extinct around 2.6 million years ago, could not have survived undetected in today's era of ocean exploration. Or maybe it can. Maybe she's a sneaky one. Who knows? Despite the debunking, the sighting fueled public fascination with the megalodon, and many still captivated by the idea of a colossal creature lurking in the depths. The Arctic Ningen. The Arctic Ningen. Ningen. I'm gonna say Ningen. The Arctic Ningen is a mysterious humanoid-like creature reportedly spotted on Google Earth around 2007 in the waters off of Antarctica. It was described as a large, pale, human-like shape with a long body. Was it me? Was that me swimming? Did you guys get me? It quickly became a viral sensation, especially in Japan. The Ningen sparked intrigue, with some speculating it was a new, undiscovered sea creature. Experts, however, dismissed the sighting as an optical illusion caused by low-res satellite images. These images can distort shapes or create the appearance of large creatures due to light and shadow. It happens. But despite skepticism, the Ningen remains a popular subject in conspiracy theories and cryptozoology, with enthusiasts continuing to search for more evidence online. I think it's real. I think a humanoid fish man creature is real. I mean, You're looking at one right now. Missing car. In 2006, 72-year-old Davy Lee Niles vanished without a trace. For nearly a decade, his disappearance remained a mystery with no sign of him or his car. Then, in 2015, while decorating a Christmas tree from a lift, someone noticed something unusual in a pond. And upon closer inspection, it turned out to be Davy's car, which had been visible on Google Maps the entire time. But it was obscured by murky waters that were at ground level. Authorities recovered the car and found Davy's body inside. The discovery was a crucial moment of closure thanks to the observant person who spoke up when they spotted the vehicle, finally bringing answers to his family after all this time. The SS Jasm. The SS Jasm, a Bolivian cargo ship, sank on December 1st, 2003, and its wreck remained elusive for years. Despite being a large vessel at 265 feet, the wreck couldn't be located until Google Maps discovered it using satellite imaging. The ship was found on its side near Wingate Reef off the coast of Sudan. Now, the mystery was explained when it was revealed that the wreck was close to an island inhabited by an uncontacted tribe, which kept the area largely off limits to outsiders. That's why it went missing. This made the discovery of the wreck one of the largest visible on Google Earth until recently. This weird Google Maps image comes to us from Memphis, Tennessee, and while I've never been myself, I've heard slightly wonderful things. That is all except for this weird message that was found as someone was searching through Google Maps, and it's located on the top of a building. If you could find it anywhere, it's way up there. Someone wrote this message, and it's got to be pretty large considering it was easy to read from space. But the message says, "Come downtown and play." I don't know what kind of Pennywise is out there writing these kind of messages, but I know I'm not crazy, and there's something almost sinister feeling about it. It's likely some sort of marketing tactic or something of that nature. I mean, at least I hope it is. But from a distance, when it looks like it could be something that was spray painted by a random person, it just seems weird, you know? A little eerie. I actually don't want to go. Thank you for the invitation, but no. Scroll away. Nestled in the mountains of Shikoku, Nagoro is a village unlike any other. See, instead of bustling streets, visitors find hundreds of life-size dolls scattered throughout, sitting on benches, waiting at bus stops, even occupying desks in an otherwise empty school. Kinda sounds like a house of wax, a little creepy, something's going on here. These eerie yet heartfelt creations are the work of Ayano Tsukimi, who returned to Nagoro after years being away, only to find it nearly deserted as younger generations moved on to cities. Inspired by a scarecrow she made to resemble her father, Ayano began crafting dolls to represent the villagers who had once lived there. Yeah, so if you lived there, you would have a doll that looks like you, a little stunt double, just sitting on a bench forever. Today, there's over 350 dolls there, turning Nagoro into a haunting yet touching reminder of its past. The Gobi Desert Mystery. Imagine scrolling through Google Maps and stumbling upon something that looks like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie. That's exactly what happened about a decade ago when someone spotted this eerie network of mysterious structures etched into the Gobi Desert in China. Now, these strange patterns and formations sparked a frenzy of online theories, of course, with conspiracy buffs diving headfirst into speculation about their purpose. At first glance, the structures resemble geoglyphs, the large-scale designs just like the famous Nazca lines in Peru, but here's the twist. These aren't carved into the ground. Instead, they appear to be constructed from physical materials, giving them a distinctly modern, almost a high-tech vibe to them. The designs are vast and geometric, including intricate grids and long parallel lines that seem far too deliberate to be random. Theories about their origin and purpose have ranged from intriguing to outright wild. Some suggest they might even be used to calibrate spy satellites, given their precise and repetitive patterns, but who knows? Others went a step further, proposing links to secret military operations or even Illuminati affiliations.
During their operations below 13,000 feet in the Mariana Trench, the science team have gathered footage of even stranger animals.
It's the deepest place on Earth, 7 miles beneath the surface of the Pacific Ocean.
A conquest to report tonight, the last frontier on Earth, the bottom of the world, nearly 7 miles straight down to the bottom of the ocean.
From sharks that look like goblins to eels that look like they crawled out of a zombie, these are mysterious Mariana Trench creatures scarier than the megalodon. The arrow-toothed eels that reside in the Mariana Trench are a species that not much is known about. The eels range somewhere from 23 to 160 centimeters, or 9.1 to 63 inches in length. They're bottom-dwelling fish, and they can be found in waters around 3,700 meters, or 12,000. They can be told apart from other eels in their early stages because of their telescopic eyes during the larva stage. These guys like to feed on the scraps left over from another larger fish meal as well as invertebrates, but they have also been known to be partly parasitic, as they sometimes burrow into the flesh of other fish. Here's a little clip of one swimming past a camera that is located around 11,000 meters deep in the sea. The barrel-eye fish, first discovered in 1939, is a creature just so alien in appearance that it seems like it has to be a work of science fiction. But no, these things are real. What makes this deep-sea fish extraordinary is its completely transparent head, through which you can actually see its brain and its eyes. It's really odd. Its tubular eyes are adapted to rotate upward, allowing it to peer through its head at the faint bioluminescent glow of prey swimming far above. They're found at depths around 2,000 to 2,600 feet, and they thrive in the midwater zone of the ocean, a dark expanse with basically no light. And living in this twilight zone where food is scarce, the barrel eye has evolved incredible adaptations to detect and hunt prey efficiently, often stealing meals from unsuspecting jellyfish. But why is it so unsettling? Well, for one, its see-through head is just, freaky looking. It just goes to show how alien the ocean's depths can be. Imagine coming face to face with a creature whose most intimate workings, the brain and eye movements are just exposed. It's just weird. And then there's its eerie stillness. The barrel eye moves with this slow, calculated precision, drifting almost like a ghost in the dark water. So, does the thought of encountering this silent, transparent predator make your skin crawl a little bit? Let us know down in the comments. The Dumbo octopus is a rare gem of the deep, formerly described in 1999. Those sightings had occurred before then. This adorable but kind of unsettling cephalopod glides gracefully through the ocean depths using its ear-like fins, a motion that has earned its name, of course, Dumbo, after Disney's flying elephant. But don't let its cuteness fool you. This octopus is a fierce predator capable of using its webbed tentacles to trap and devour unsuspecting prey. They're found at depths around 13,000 feet, and the Dumbo octopus lives in freezing, pitch-black waters where survival is a feat of engineering. It looks harmless, even endearing, but it's a ruthless predator, actually. Its ghostly appearance gliding silently through the dark almost feels otherworldly, like an alien floating in zero gravity. You ever seen something so cute and unsettling at the same time? And what about its ability to survive in conditions that would crush most life forms? That's the kind of resilience that demands both awe and a little bit of unease. The fang-tooth fish was discovered in 1877, and it earns its terrifying reputation thanks to its disproportionately large teeth, some of the largest relative to body size of any fish in the ocean. This deep-sea predator resides at depths as great as 16,400 feet, where it lurks in total darkness, hunting anything unfortunate enough to cross its path. Its carnivorous mouth and needle-sharp teeth are perfectly adapted for capturing prey in a place where food is scarce. And here's a terrifying thought. Its teeth are so large that the fish can't even fully close its mouth. Imagine a fish with teeth too big for its face, roaming in the abyss, waiting for its next meal. It looks like a monster out of a horror film, really, but it's very real. What makes it even scarier is its ability to sense prey in the pitch black using its ultra-sensitive lateral line, an organ that detects vibrations in the water. So could you imagine floating in complete darkness, knowing something like this fang-tooth fish might be nearby? Known as a living fossil, the goblin shark was first identified in 1898, but its lineage dates back about 125 million years. They're found at about 4,000 feet deep, and this shark's bizarre appearance is what makes it so terrifying. Its elongated snout is covered in electrosensitive organs that detect the faint electrical signals of prey. But its most shocking feature is its extendable jaw, which shoots out at lightning speed to grab unsuspecting fish and squid. The goblin shark's pale, almost flesh-like skin combined with its nightmarish teeth and sudden predatory strikes makes it look like something that belongs in the depths of a horror movie instead of the depths of our actual sea. Not Earth's oceans. Picture it. A slow-moving ghostly figure suddenly lunging out of the shadows with its jaws extending unnaturally forward, kind of like the alien xenomorph from Alien. How would you react if you came face to face with a living dinosaur? First discovered in the early 20th century, the deep-sea dragonfish is a predator that perfectly embodies the terrors of the abyss. They're found at depths of up to 7,200 feet, and it's a fish that's equipped with sharp fang-like teeth and a bioluminescent lure dangling from its chin. It uses this glow appendage to attract prey in the darkness before striking with deadly precision. Its pitch black skin makes it almost invisible in the water, an adaptation that allows it to ambush prey with ease. And what makes the dragonfish so scary isn't just its sharp teeth or its glowing lure, it's the sheer cunning of its hunting strategy. It's a master of camouflage, able to blend into the surrounding void until it's too late for its victim. Would you dare to swim in waters where creatures like the dragonfish might be silently watching, ready to strike at any moment? Zombie worms. These were first discovered in 2002. They're among the most macabre creatures in the deep. They're found feasting on whale carcasses that sink to the ocean floor, and these worms have no mouth or stomach. Instead, they just secrete this acid that dissolves bones, and then they absorb nutrients through symbiotic bacteria. Living in the Mariana Trench's Haddle depths, zombie worms thrive in the ultimate graveyard of the ocean. Their horrifying feeding habits make them deeply unsettling. Imagine just a slimy, red-tipped worm slowly dissolving the bones of a once mighty whale, essentially turning the ocean floor into a scene from a horror novel. Do you handle seeing an ecosystem built entirely around decay and death? The frilled shark. These were first found in the 19th century, but it's like something pulled straight out of a time machine. This bizarre creature is often called a living fossil once again because it's barely changed since the age of the dinosaurs. They're found swimming at depths of up to 5,000 feet. It has a long eel-like body that undulates through the water, earning it the nickname sea serpent. Its rows of needle-sharp teeth, 300 in total by the way, are perfectly designed for snagging slippery prey, and once caught, there's no escape. What's even creepier, its slow, snake-like movements give it a haunting, almost otherworldly vibe. The sea devil anglerfish, first described in 1891, might be the creepiest and coolest thing swimming in the abyss. The predator is found more than 3,000 feet deep, where, again, light just doesn't reach. But it doesn't mind because it makes its own light. The anglerfish has a bioluminescent lure sticking out from its head, glowing in the darkness to attract unsuspecting prey. Once something swims close, the sea devil's sharp, jagged teeth snap shut in an instant. So talk about a deadly trap, but that's not all that makes this fish scary. Its mating habits are like something out of a sci-fi horror movie. The much smaller male anglerfish bites onto the female and eventually fuses with her, becoming this permanent parasite, literally living off her BLOOD and contributing sperm when needed. Yeah, it's kind of as gross as it sounds, and don't forget its grin. The sea devil's face is just pure nightmare fuel, all jagged teeth and soulless eyes. Do you imagine meeting a predator that glows in the dark and wears its mate as a permanent accessory? That's pretty weird. In 2014, scientists discovered the Mariana snailfish, a remarkable species that holds the record for the deepest living fish. They're found nearly 27,000 feet below the surface. That's over 5 miles deep. This ghostly white fish lives in a world where the pressure is so intense that it would crush a human in seconds. Now, despite its soft, gelatinous body, which looks like it might melt in your hand, the snailfish is incredibly well adapted to this harsh environment, thriving where most life forms just couldn't even dream of surviving. The snailfish might look delicate, but it's actually a top predator in its ecosystem, feeding on tiny crustaceans and other prey. It uses its flexible blob-like body to squeeze into cracks and crevices, hunting for meals in places no other fish can reach. Its translucent skin and its eerie appearance give it an almost ghostly quality, like a phantom of the deep. How does a creature so fragile looking manage to dominate one of the harshest environments on Earth? It's incredible to think about how life can adapt to literally anything. Don't judge a book by a cover, I guess is my point.
Look at the size of that. Look at him. Look at him. Oh my God. Oh my God. Whoa. I'm videoing right now.
Wolverines, cryptids, and ice mysteries are just a few of the rare whodunits that I cannot wait to gush about with all of you all today. One of the least explored places on Earth lies just off the coast of Antarctica. So about 1.5 million square kilometers, or 580,000 square miles of ocean there. It's a vast area the size of Alaska, and it sits in perpetual darkness. It hides beneath 650 to 2,000 feet of floating ice, making it virtually inaccessible to humans. But in January, a couple years back, a team of researchers made a rare attempt to explore it. They camped on the floating Thwaites ice shelf, and there they melted a narrow hole about 2,000 feet through the ice. Then they lowered a long, skinny, remote-controlled submarine called Icefin to probe the dark waters below, and they got quite the startling discovery. So as one Brittany Schmidt watched, the sub's camera displayed glistening stars. They dangled like Christmas tree ornaments, I know, festive, from the icy ceiling above, and dozens of these sparkling stars waved. Now Schmidt at the time was sitting in a tent atop the ice. She was staring at a computer screen and she watched live video being relayed up from the sub as it skimmed just below the ice. The ceiling's smooth surface gleamed like a mirror in Icefin's floodlights. They saw animals dangling from that ice. But as the sub approached, the critters withdrew, one by one, into small little holes. So these are anemones. These are tentacled creatures that normally live on the seafloor. Like flowers, they sprout from rocks or sit rooted in the sand. But not here. These things had burrowed into the ice, forming what looked like an upside-down aquatic garden. Shrimp-like crustaceans flitted around them like bumblebees in a meadow. A fish rested upside down on the ice ceiling, like a cat, just hanging out, waiting, watching. Schmidt was amazed. She's a glaciologist, so she's devoted a lot of her career to exploring under the ice, and what she witnessed here looked otherworldly. She compared it to Alice in Wonderland, which I get it. This dark, frigid place might seem extreme to us, but everything here had adapted to make it home. And with 99.99% of the ocean beneath Antarctica's floating ice shelves still unexplored, plenty of other weird, undiscovered life may share these waters. Other experts say it's not just possible, it's a certainty. Craig Smith is a seafloor ecologist and an expert. He spent like 20 years exploring waters around Antarctica, and he's explained that these strange creatures show us that life can thrive in some bizarre places on Earth. It also hints at what kinds of life might exist in places much farther out there, such as the outer reaches of the solar system. In November of 2009, Greg Warner and his team reported on and supplied photographs of this giant snake event near the jungle city of Iquitos in Peru. So the photographs showed a trail at least 5 meters wide, and they also provided video accounts to support their videos and eyewitness accounts. So this snake is believed to be a yakumama, which is an enormous serpent believed to be the mother of all aquatic animals. According to legend, the yakumama would suck up any living thing that passed within 100 steps of it. So to protect themselves, local indigenous folks would blow on a conch horn before entering the water, believing that the yakumama would reveal itself if it was present, and it would save their lives. So we do have a video. It's in Spanish, but I did find a translation of it. So it was in a human settlement, and folks got into a panic when they saw that located at the back of an enormous swamp was a huge silhouette of dragged grass and mud, and they believe, yeah, it's a giant snake that guarded a small pond. One eyewitness claimed it started to move like this, circulate until it found a way out over there. And then they were like, you can't really say there was like a way to get out over there because everything was plain, but it made its own trail. It looked like it wanted to get out that way, but then it turned over there, and then it took this way, and it looked all this. If you keep looking that way, you can see it remain like this. So like the snake was trying to get out, it was trying to figure out a way, but before it was like that. Like this snake went all over the place. Honestly, I think this is further evidence that the black boa, the yakumama, the sakamama, the minnow cow, and possibly the Titan boa are all one and the same in terms of cryptid classification. So there was an interesting video that emerged from Mexico that showed what appeared to be a small bipedal humanoid scurrying across the road. So this video was captured earlier this year, January 2024, by a security camera at a farm in the city of Monterey, and it hit the internet back in May. So we see a small dark form exit from a wooded area on the side of the road, and then quickly made its way across the dirt path, then vanished into a brush sort of thing. A lot of folks believe it to be the sightings of the duende, which is a humanoid figure of folklore that is comparable to goblins, dwarves, gnomes, leprechauns. What do you think, folks? Fun fact, in Spanish, duende originated as a contraction of the phrase dueño de casa, effectively master of the house, or maybe it's derived from some similar mythical being of the Visigoth or Swabian culture, given its comparable looks with the tomte of the Swedish language, which is conceptualized as a mischievous spirit inhabiting a dwelling. Finnish folklore is rich in a lot of tales and legends about various types of duendes. We're going to try and pronounce a couple of them. If I mess this up, I tried, I looked it up. There's the Gnomos, the Hadas, the Elfos, the Enanos, Trentis, the Dianos. Okay, I think I did okay. In some regions of Spain, duendes have other names. There's the Trasnos in Galicia, Folets in Catalonia, Trasgas in Asturias, Minutos or Mendos in Valle de Hecho, and I just think it's kind of neat. What do you think, folks? Let me know in the comments. A mystery beast roaming a Montana campsite sparked the curiosity of thousands of Reddit users. So this is an area, a little corner of Reddit if you will, that helps people identify things that are spotted in the wild. And one user, Gertoria, shared 3 pictures of a very rare mammal. He captioned it with saying, "This guy walked right up to our cooking spot while camping. What could it be?" The photos show a black fuzzy animal with a bear-like face and a long fluffy tail running to the campsite. And in one frame, the animal was looking directly at the camera as if it was posing. Well, folks were very quick to identify the animal as a wolverine, which was actually listed as an endangered species last year thanks to climate change. So amongst the 1,600 comments or more, somebody was like, "Holy, that's a wolverine. They're incredible and not being seen by people. Truly once at a lifetime. Congrats." Somebody else said, "That's a Hugh Jackman." Did you get the reference? Because he's the superhero in the MCU? So following all the interest in the post, the hiker later explained that he had seen this little cute creature while on a trip with his wife to Cracker Lake in Glacier National Park back in September of 2017. In describing the encounter, he said either the first or the second night, the wind was absolutely crazy around the canyon, the air was thick with smoke, and the couple was quietly cooking their food in the designated food prep area when the wife turned and was like, "Oh, there's a cute little guy about 10 feet away." It reared up a little bit on its hind legs when the poster, stood up, surprised, and then scampered away when he was fumbling for the camera. Now, we did get an expert's opinion on it. A Regina Domingo, a conservationist and wildlife expert, confirmed that it is a wolverine, and they're also known as carcajous. They might look like tiny little bears. Technically, they're members of the weasel family, which I didn't know before today. They weigh like 40 pounds, and they're not timid, by the way. They have fought with wolves over food, but typically they don't pose any harm to humans. But they're really cute. There was a moderator that did add some additional info on the post, saying they're not aggressive towards humans. Attacks are so incredibly rare that there's never been one single verified case of a wolverine attacking a human. Mother wolverines will run from humans. Not a big on the attacking thing. Turns out there are less than 300 wolverines in the entire United States. The global population is unknown. These little guys tend to prefer colder temperatures because of their big fuzzy coats, so you normally find them in Washington, Alaska, Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, and Oregon. And also up in Canada, which makes sense why wolverine Canadian. They like their mountain regions. They used to hang out in California and Utah, but trapping in the 1920s kind of put an end to that. On April 2nd of 2024, TikTok influencer Nightmare Fuel uploaded a strange 1-minute video that they received from a fan. So they said that there was this camera set up facing the river in Namor after a lot of folks said they saw spirits in the river. And the camera captured something. So I'm pretty sure they were referring to Lake Namor in Papua New Guinea. And it's unclear what exactly the creatures in the lake are, but they do appear to have large eyes that upon surfacing reflect the light. They swim about, submerge, emerge, occasionally look at the camera. They seem fairly harmless, but they're weird and kooky.
Terrifying deep-sea creatures no one has ever seen before. Number 5. Rose-veiled fairy wrasse. The sea Finnifenma was spotted by John Randall in the early 1990s and was initially thought to be just an adult version of C. rubris quamus, a fish from the Maldives. However, just a couple months ago, a new strain of species was finally caught and analyzed. Though there have been hundreds of fish caught off the coast of the Maldives, this colorful, mesmerizing new addition is the first ever to be formally introduced and recognized as a brand new species. Alright. Welcome to Earth, little buddy. I love this planet. Every day there's something new, eh? This thing is mesmerizing, right? Look at it, it's just so beautiful. Apparently it changes colors as it grows up too. Different year, different color. The rose-veiled fairy wrasses is one of the first species to have its name derived from the local Dihivehi language, with Finnifenma meaning rose, a nod to both its beautiful pink hues and the island's national flower. Ah, we're starting this list off nice and easy. Imagine swimming with these. This is beautiful. Nice little rainbow around you. Of course, us being us, the species being so new and abundant has started making it, of course, at high risk of over-exploitation. Yeah, don't forget what we do to fish. Yeah, humans can be the worst for this planet also. Already talks of commercialization, tasty new dishes, and exotic deep-sea tanks before it's even got a scientific name. That should be a metaphor about how we are, you know? Something so new and precious and we're already craving over it. The beauty of nature, I guess. The discovery is part of the California Academies of Science Hope for Reefs initiative started in 2016 by a team of marine biologists and deep-sea divers. It was created to explore, explain, and sustain the world's coral reefs by making fundamental breakthroughs in coral reef biology. That's awesome, dude. Okay, so there's like some pure people still out there trying to help. That's beautiful. Alright, one for humanity. Okay, we're trying here. Number 4, the blanket octopus. The blanket octopus gets its name from its female counterpart, the very rarely seen and supersized female blanket octopus. She has a long fleshy cape that wraps around her tentacles. This cape makes the octopus appear larger and more intimidating to predators. Though the female blanket octopus is already large, growing to around 2.5 meters in length, the males only grow up to about 1 inch, weighing in at a monstrous 1 pound. Alright. The caped female growing upwards of 40% bigger in mass and size. 40% his size. Okay, the species is much more interesting now. 40 times bigger than its counterpart? Just a little guy, you know? You got this, little man. That's like us dating a sperm whale. How does he not get lost in that big cape? Hey, soulmates are soulmates, right? In fact, the blanket octopus exhibit one of the most extreme sexual size dimorphisms known in any of the animal kingdoms. That's a really cool fact. Unique love, you know? That's like Donkey and Dragon from Shrek. But on a bleaker note, unfortunately scientists don't think that they live very long. Sad, I know. Like many other octopuses, they are short-lived at approximately 1 to 2 years for females and 3 to 4 years as males. The tiny male drifts through the ocean seeking a mate while protecting their precious reproductive arm tucked away in a sac between their mouth and eye. Males die soon after they mate, while females will continue to live and grow for many months and years longer than the males, spawning around 100,000 eggs which are carried by her under her arms. Blanket octopuses can be found in both tropical and subtropical waters. They apparently are reported to feed on seafloor mollusks and small fishes. It's not fish, eh? Yeah, it's fishes. Yeah, I never knew that. It's fishes. I like that. Blanket octopuses are also immune to venom, like from the Portuguese man of war, the huge jellyfish. Female blankets actually rip their limbs off and use them as weapons. They use the tentacles of jellyfish to sting other predators for both offense and defense. This is like my new favorite animal. These should be called Joan of Arcs, because that's like the energy I'm getting here. When threatened, the female unfurls her large net-like membranes that spread out like Batman's cape, making her instantly 3 times the size of an already 12-foot body. Gentle giant or limb ripper-offer? You tell me. Number 3, the glass octopus. A rare encounter with a glass octopus has just happened, which is one of the strangest and coolest species that swim these oceans. These science fiction looking dudes have transparent gelatinous bodies, and scientists believe that they have evolved into their elongated shape in order to make itself next to invisible, even when right beside it. That's pretty cool. The only colorful parts on them are their optic nerves, eyeballs, and digestive tract. Yeah, basically like a see-through Game Boy. Remember those? About like 3 times the size of a Game Boy 2 at about 20 inches long. It's likely that these octopuses eat whatever is down there at the depths of the Twilight Zone and Midnight Zone. Yeah, like deep, deep. And cold. Footage of the glass octopus is super new, and before this expedition, scientists had almost no documentation of the animal in the wild. That means they've mostly had to learn about it just by studying remains found in the guts of other predators. But now, thanks to the Schmidt Ocean Institute armed with close-range high-def videos and pictures, scientists and biologists are now able to learn a little bit more about this mysterious ghostly creature. Quote, "The ocean holds wonders and promises we haven't even imagined, much less discovered." Wendy Schmidt, co-founder of Schmidt Ocean Institute. Thanks to a recent expedition in the US Pacific remote islands, the Schmidts led a 34-day trip that brought scientists together from all around the world to document deep-sea creatures on deep seamounts. See, this is what I'm talking about. All the while using a remote-controlled vehicle named Sebastian. I love it. I get it. Little Mermaid, I got you. Scientists observed not one but 2 octopuses, adding further to more knowledge and behavior of this elusive species. The glass octopus is considered one of the least studied cephalopods in our ocean. I'm excited. Let's go 2022. So far so good. Great year for fishes. Number 2, the colossal squid. Sometimes called the Antarctic squid or giant cranch squid, or famously known as the Kraken. It's believed to be the largest squid species ever. It's the only member of the Mesonychothelius genus and is only known from a handful of sightings throughout history. Ah yes, the old sea captain's log, huh? The species is confirmed to reach a mass of at least 1,500 pounds, making it the largest known invertebrate on the planet. Biggest one so far is 20 meters. That's like the pitcher's mound to home plate. Yeah. This thing is massive. Though the species has similar anatomy to other squids, it's the only member to display hooks on its arms and tentacles. Okay, that's a little scary. It lives in the Antarctic and is found at depths of the twilight zone, like 2,000 meters down. Little is actually known about the creature, what it eats, and what it does all the way down there. Scientists say it's bioluminescence as well, which attracts prey. Look, if this thing was flying instead of swimming, just 1 atmosphere difference, I'm just gonna say it, this thing would be an alien. You know what I mean? I said it. I mean, no wonder it's got a reputation for swallowing up ships by pirates. The first specimens were spotted in 1925, but in the early 2000s, fishermen got lucky and they pulled up the largest colossal squid ever found. It's now on display at the Museum of New Zealand. Kinda sad that when we see these beautiful things, the first thing we think is to yank them out of the water. I like the underwater cameras and free divers Blue Planet style, just swimming down there with krakens. Okay, maybe not. Yank it up, boys. Get it up, that thing's horrifying. And the number 1 spot, the blood belly comb jelly. Sounds like a magical elixir. From the family Lampictenidae, this specimen was first caught and studied by George Matsumoto, the marine biologist at the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute, who discovered the blood belly jelly in 2003. Now we're sure these things weren't discovered on like one of Jupiter's moons or something already in the 30s. We're sure of that. Cause that thing's blinking like a you-know-what. Not many of these things have actually been caught though. I've never seen anything like this before. Brilliant and then seemingly electric. The bloody belly comb jelly comes in different shades of red as well. The sparkling display on the outside comes from light reflecting and refracting off tiny transparent hair-like cilia. Basically this thing is like a swimming light bright. Remember those? Light brights from the 90s? This thing is like the alive version of that. Of course, alongside its mystic nature, it also poops sparkles. Seriously, like a little alien unicorn. That's neat, right? Its name comes from its ruby red color. While it's pretty much invisible from underneath its belly, from above and in front it lights up like the 4th of July, luring predators in with its mesmerizing patterns. Red is nearly invisible in the deep sea, so the vibrant crimson that gives the comb jelly its name is actually helping it hide. Blood bellies are technically ctenophores, not true jellyfish. Many comb jellies have caloblasts lining their tentacles, which work like glue instead of venom. Upon touch, a spiral filament automatically bursts out and releases this sticky glue stuff. Once a fish is unable to swim away, the comb jelly reels in its tentacles and brings the food to its mouth. Okay, so this thing just became absolutely terrifying again. The deep dark sea, we gotta respect it. How insects and how jellyfish eat scares the out of me. I can't explain it. Watch it for yourself.